All right, everybody, let's get this party started. Can you hear me? Chatting yes if you can hear me. Can you hear the car horn that's going off outside my window? Chatting yes or no? Okay, good, because I want to go out there and hit it with my car to make it stop doing that. But we're just going to move on. All right, everybody. If you have not seen me do training before or don't know who I am, chat in me. If you don't know who I am, or you haven't seen me do training before, chat in me. Okay, so we have a few new people on today. My name's Dale Archdekin. I'm the founder of Smart Sales Coaching. I've been in sales for over 30 years. I was a hardcore outbound prospector, expireds, FSBOs, for rent by owner, the whole nine. Sold real estate myself until I partnered up with another guy in my market, and we scaled a team to over 30 agents and over 650 transactions per year. Part of what I did within that team is built an inside sales department where I hired people off the street, gave them our real estate leads, taught them how to convert them, and they could go from 0 to 60 units in their first 12 months, producing appointments and closings for my team. For the last 12 years, I've been training agents, teams, and brokerages across the US and Canada, and we are the #1 sales training company for all of the vendors, lead providers, as well as the top 5% of the Real Trends list of 1,000 mega teams. That's who I am. So today I'm going to be talking about how to build a killer pipeline. And I know you want to sell more houses. You literally can double the amount of appointments that you go on right now. And the secret is not just making more contacts. It's making better contacts. Not just more, but better. You don't need more leads, you need better sales skills. I'm going to assert that for 99% of you on this call right now, your sales skills are the #1 thing that's getting in the way of you reaching your goals and of you actually earning the income that you want to earn. I'm going to prove it to you while we're on this call today. And if I do prove it to you, at the end, I'm going to tell you how you can join me for a 3-day intensive, a masterclass. It's 2 hours a day across 3 days, and it's coming up here at the end of January. You're going to have a chance to sign up for that at the end of this webinar. If that's fair, chat in fair. There we go. So now you can pay attention to me and not wonder what I'm selling you. Okay. You can sell 50% more homes right now with the leads and the network that you already have. Almost all of you can do that unless you're super brand new to the business. If this is like your first week or first month in the business, then it might be a little harder for you, but for the rest of you, you can easily sell 50% more. You're leaving tens of thousands of dollars of commission on the table every single month. With the conversations that you don't have, you already know that. If you don't have the conversation, you can't get an appointment and a closing, but you're probably leaving a lot of dollars and commission and deals on the table, even with the conversations that you do have. I'm going to show that to you in this webinar. But my leads suck, Dale. They won't meet with me. They won't talk to me, won't answer the phone, won't answer my texts or emails. They want to work with a different agent. They don't have anyone to refer to me. They won't write an offer, won't list their home, won't go out to look at homes. Did I miss any? Did I miss any, everybody? Chat it in. Did I miss any? No? Okay, I pretty much covered it. Good. Listen, I get it. I've been in sales for 30 years now. I've personally made tens of thousands of hours of outbound phone calls, selling credit card insurance, selling magazine subscriptions, mortgage refinancing, and real estate sales, right? Buyers and sellers. I have 12 years of sales, recruiting, screening, hiring, training, and management under my belt. And most importantly, the last 12 years having to achieve a profit through other salespeople, which is even harder than trying to achieve the profit yourself. The reason I'm telling you that is I get it. I've been there. I've been in your shoes for a very long time. I understand that it can be very difficult. I understand that it is a grind. That's what this business is about. And over that course of time that I've been a trainer, I try to figure out how many calls I've listened to. And not only the calls that I've listened to as a sales trainer, but for about 5 years, my partner and I did a podcast called Cash Call, which you can find on YouTube. And every week we would come together and we would play recordings from salespeople and we would give coaching feedback on those calls. So in addition to that podcast plus coaching agents, I did a little bit of math on how many calls I've actually listened to. So I've been coaching and training for 12 years. I've reviewed at least 10 calls per month, and that is exceptionally conservative. So 10 calls per month over 12 months is 120 calls per year, conservatively, that I've reviewed. 120 calls per year times the last 12 years I've been doing this equals roughly 1,440 sales calls that I've listened to. And here's what I can tell you. If you are consistently lead generating and you're not closing the deals that you want, do me a favor, chat in. If you are consistently lead generating and not closing the deals you want, chat in me. If you're consistently lead generating and not generating the deals you want, chat in me. I'm going to assume the rest of you are not consistently lead generating. Okay. So if you are and you're not generating the deals you want, then you're just not as good at sales conversations as you think you are. Now, if you are not consistently lead generating and not closing the deals you want, so chat in me if you are not consistently lead generating. Okay, there we go. Thank you for your honesty, everybody. For those of you who are not consistently lead generating, you're just not as good at sales conversations as you want to be. How do I know that? Because if you're consistently lead generating and not closing the deals you want, it means that your sales skills aren't high enough to facilitate you keeping and capturing and converting and booking appointments with people. If you aren't lead generating, it means that you're afraid to do it. Because if you were really good at it and you were really productive at it, you would be doing it and you'd be doing more of it. So if you aren't doing it, it just means that you aren't as good as you want to be. And that's causing you not to do it. So,
Hi there,
but
Alex here.
the good news is you're probably not this bad.
Hi there, Alex here. I'm connecting you to a local agent now.
Chatting yes if you can hear this.
Hello, my name is RC. How can I help you?
Yeah, who am I speaking to?
My name's RC.
Okay. Are you the agent for the property that I was inquiring about?
No, that's not how Zillow works.
Okay. So what exactly could you assist me with?
I'm asking you, what can I, actually, that's my question to you.
Well, if I put the information specifically inquiring about a property, I thought the whole, back and forth on the text would have gotten me to somebody who can answer me questions about that specific property. Is that not how it works?
What questions do you have, sir?
Well, if you don't even know about the property, I feel like we're just wasting each other's time.
You're calling and inquiring about 514 Bellevue Street. I'm asking what questions can I answer for you at that. If there are no questions for you, I'm going to ask you to have a nice night.
Well, I do have questions about that property.
Okay, what questions can I answer for you?
You. What is your role? Because if you're not the agent, you work for someone from Zillow, and your customer service skills are lacking, buddy. Did you not want to work today or something?
You asked if I was a listing agent. I said no. I said that's not how Zillow works.
Please keep in mind that
you asked if there was someone that can answer some questions for you, and I said,
I get that. But if you
so what is it that I can answer for you? What can I answer for you? What's your question?
What's your manager's name?
I don't have a manager, dude. What's your question? Answer it. Ask it.
I just did.
What? I don't have a manager. What's your next question?
Who do you work for? Who do you work for?
I work for myself. What's your next question?
What exactly do you do?
I pay Zillow so that people like you can call and I can speak to them. So
wow.
What questions can I answer for you, pal?
Well,
okay.
Think for 10 seconds that I'm not going to go ahead and find out exactly who you are.
Good, dude. We pay Zillow so clowns like you can speak to people like us. Okay? Now, we get to choose whether we work with people like you or not because we pay for it.
Yeah, you're garbage.
So what questions can we answer for you today?
Yeah, where can you go yourself?
Okay, there we go. And it doesn't get any better, everybody. That is a real call. That's a real recording. Now, hopefully you're not that bad, right? You probably wouldn't be here trying to improve your skills if you were that bad. But here's what I hear in that call. I hear poor sales skills on the agent's part. I hear an unrealistic expectation of the lead quality. This agent thought that because he paid money for these leads, that these people were just going to come in, they were going to, automatically tell him exactly what they were doing, want to work with him, want to buy or sell something and be ready to go, and that he wouldn't have to work for it, right? And, I also hear either a lazy agent or a burned out agent if I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. He just wasn't willing to do any work. So this is a really bad example, but I'm using it to help show you that I'm pretty sure if this guy went and listened back to his call, he would realize this is not the way for him to conduct business or to talk to people. But even though you're not this bad, I guarantee you probably do something like this next call.
Hello?
Hi, is this the property owner at 12 Sand Hill Road?
Yes, it is. How may I help you?
Oh, great. Well, this is with you, real estate. Good to meet you, but I had Arthur in my records. To whom am I speaking?
I'm sorry, what?
Well, I had Arthur Wilson as the owner, but it doesn't
Yep,
sound...
that's him. That's my husband.
Oh, okay. And to whom am I speaking now?
His wife.
Oh, hi. And your name is?
I really don't want to give you my name. How can I help you?
Oh, okay. Well, I was giving you a quick call because Arthur had made an inquiry online about seeing what your property value would be on the market. And
It took almost 1 minute for this salesperson to get to get to what the hell she wanted to get to the point. Oh.
Hello?
Oh no, it started over.
Hello? Hello?
am I speaking now?
Here we go.
What your property value would be on the market and potentially getting a cash offer. So I was curious, have you already sold the property or were you still
No.
interested? Are you still interested in a potential offer?
No.
Okay, now this lead hung up at that point, right? So that was just terrible. It was absolutely terrible from start to finish. What I heard was a random confused salesperson called a complete strange consumer out of the blue, and she was completely unprepared, out of control, and it's obvious that this salesperson had no professional sales training. She's just winging it, and a lot of you are winging it right now. We ended up working with this person and helped her. She's an awesome person. And once we got done training her, she sounded like an absolute pro, which I'm now realizing I should probably have a recording of her doing a much better job. But suffice it to say, before she came to us, I guarantee you she had no idea how bad she actually was until we played the calls and listened to them with her. So maybe you don't do that, but I bet you do something like this. Let's listen to this next call.
Hey, a little while ago, you reached out about a house, 52 East Main Street. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, but I have someone from NSM calling me today.
Okay. Is that NSM? Is that another brokerage?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. Awesome. If you have any questions, reach out. Hopefully they can do what you need. And I wish you the best of luck on your home search. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Brittany. Bye-bye.
What? Why did this guy get off the phone? Why did this agent give up? That's crazy. Do we have any team leaders on here right now? Chat in me if you're a team leader. If you're a team leader, Molly, I guarantee you some of your agents are doing this stuff. So here's what I heard. Oh, that's what we call the rollover and die. There literally was no objection. There was no objection on this call. All she said was, I think another brokerage is calling me today. And he said, okay, and he bailed and just backed out of the conversation. I have no idea why. The agent clearly had no plan for the call. He didn't have the experience, he sounded good. He did a good job getting into the call, but then just completely rolled over and died. Have you done this before? Chat in me if you've done stuff like this before. Now, even if you haven't done the ones that I've played, I guarantee you've done this next one. Let's listen to it.
You were on my website looking at properties, and I'm wondering, are you looking to move in the next few months or just checking the market?
Oh, I was just checking the market. Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. Nothing wrong with looking around. Was there any specific type of home you're interested in?
No, just looking around. Yeah, just to see. But yeah, I can reach back out if it gets more serious. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Just enjoy the use of the website.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care. Bye.
Enjoy the use of the website. Okay, so here's what I heard on this one. Don't call me, I'll call you. So she did have an objection, which was just, we're just getting started or looking around, checking the market, whatever it is. She literally said, I'll call you when we get more serious, which is okay, but we're in sales. We should be ready to hear that every single time that it happens and not be shocked by it and not have our cages rattled. This agent does not know how to build rapport. When the sale's not going to happen, he started out with, can I sell you a house? And she said, I'm not ready to buy a house. And he said, okay, then enjoy my website, because he didn't know what else to do. He just didn't know how to build rapport. The agent is stuck on selling houses. So for him, when we worked with him, we had to work with him to realize that there was much more conversation to be had with a prospect or lead beyond, do you want to buy something or sell something, or are you ready to buy or sell something? And so once we did that, he was able to book a lot more appointments and sell more houses. These are the kind of things that are holding you back, and you don't even know what they are yet. So if you hear yourself in some of these calls, great. But even if you don't hear yourself in some of these calls, I promise you, I would put my 12 years of sales training on this, that you have patterns that are preventing you from booking more appointments with the people that you already talk to. And if you aren't talking to enough people, it's because you're afraid of making these mistakes. So you don't always realize what you're doing. And this is a super important point that I want to make for you. I'll give you an example from my own life. So my wife and I just put this big addition to our house. It's something that I've been planning and pining for 4 years. We finally got it done. We just finished it up in October of last year. And as my wife and I were going out of town, we were going to Nashville for a long weekend. It was a Friday, right? I'm driving to the airport and we get the final bill from our contractor, and it's just slightly over $100,000. So I'm driving the car. My wife is in the passenger seat. We get this invoice from the contractor, and I don't think that he's expecting me to give him a check today for $100K, but it's Friday. Do you know what Friday is in contracting world, everybody? What's Friday? All right, everybody, what's Friday in contractor land? Chat it in for me. Chat it in. Payday, right? That's when you need to pay your workers. So the contractor we're working with, he's got a crew. He's got people working for him. He's got to pay them for their labor. He's got materials that he's invested in. So although we're not going to stroke him a check for $100,000 right there on Friday, I ask my wife, I say, hey, please text the contractor, ask him if he needs a partial payment now, or if we can wait till Monday to pay in full. Because I'm driving the car and I can't text people, right? So she does. This is what she writes. Hey, we got the final bill. Do you need us to pay right away, or can we do it when we get back Monday? So chat in for me. I want you to either chat yes or no to this question. Yes or no. Do you think that my wife translated the question I had for him about a partial payment with her text message? Chat in yes or no. Okay. All right. You guys all agree with me. I won't tell her what you said. So, of course, I'm a good husband. I don't want to get in trouble for making my wife wrong. I read the text message as we're driving along, and I'm like, oh, man, I don't think she said what I wanted her to say. That's not the right message. So I said, hey, can you read the text? I said, did you text it to him? Did you ask him about a partial payment? And he wrote, yeah, or she said, yes, I did. And I said, okay, read your text message and tell me where it asks him if he needs a partial payment. So she went and read her text, and then she said, yeah, I guess that's not what I wrote. Here's the point. She had no idea that she didn't write that in her message. She totally thought she did until she went and read the words and then discovered that what she thought had not happened. So she went back and wrote, or do you need us to send you a partial payment before Monday? that actually nailed it. So my point to you is that you oftentimes don't know what you're doing in your conversations. You don't realize what you're saying or not saying, and it's impacting your results. But do you guys understand this point that I'm making here? Not that I'm just trying to make my wife wrong. It's that a lot of you don't realize what you're saying. Even she's been in the business a year longer than me and sells 15 million a year. She's awesome and didn't realize what she was actually saying or writing. Small hinges swing big doors. W. Clement Stone. We recently worked with a real estate cold calling company to improve their results. We worked on their complete intro script. We worked on their initial objection response, and we worked on their live transfer process. So this ISA company works the same kind of leads that you do: internet leads, website registrations, social media registrations, those kind of things. This company calls those leads and attempts to tee up a sales conversation with an agent like you. And they asked us for help to improve their results. So when we first started working with them, I know that if you can get somebody into a minute plus conversation, you're much more likely to be able to get an appointment with them or sell them something, right? Or capture them as a piece of business. So we took a measurement, and they had about 13,325 conversations, minute plus, or of the 13,325 people who answered the phone prior to us working with them, 3.4% of those went to a minute plus, right? Before we worked with them. That was about 1 in 29. So basically, of the 29 people that answered the phone, one of them would have a minute plus conversation with their ISA, with their salesperson. After we changed their intro script, just the words that the ISA said and how they said them, the next 1,807 people who answered the phone, 15.9% of them had a minute plus conversation. Here's the difference. That was 1 in 6. They went from 1 out of 29 people to 1 in 6 would have a minute plus conversation with them just by changing their intro script. Do you want more people to stay in a call with you when you reach out to them? Yes or no? Chat it in. Chat it in. Everybody's making, you better not be making a sandwich right now. I'm here hustling. Okay, good. Do you want to get more people to talk to you and stay in a conversation with you? Good. Then, so that took them, so 1 in 29 to 1 in 6. From 6 of those, they were able to get per day using their script, 6 minute plus conversations to 21 minute plus conversations per day. That is a lot more opportunity to sell real estate, to capture leads, to create new clients, to create new nurtures. So we also worked on their live transfer process, how they go about getting a lead that they're talking to agree to and wait around on the phone to talk to an agent. So using their process in the prior 20 days before we worked with them, they created 24 live connections, right? That was about 1.2 connections per day. After we changed the process, how the ISA described what was going to happen and asked the prospect to talk to an agent, in the next 7 days, they were able to get 27 of those transferred over. That went to 3.8 per day. They went from 1.2 a day to 3.8 per day, 3 times the number of live transfers they were able to make, right? 3 times the number of discovery calls that an agent was able to have with a qualified lead. That is massive. How many more homes can you sell if you can get 3 times the number of people to have a buyer consultation with you? Could you sell more houses? Absolutely. This is why I'm telling you, you can book more appointments and you can sell more homes right now if you change what you're doing. The downside of poor sales skills. The downside is that you have lower confidence if your skills are not very high, which means the lower confidence means that you're going to take less action. You're going to have lower activity. If you have lower activity, you generate fewer opportunities, which means you have a weaker pipeline, you get less results, you have fewer sales and lower income. That is the cost of having poor sales skills, or just winging it, or just reading some of those shitty scripts that you find on the internet that have been floating around since before I got in the business. I just need more hot leads, Dale, said every salesperson ever. What makes a real estate lead hot? Let's run through this, because I want to help dispel the myth that you think all you need is more hot leads. So what makes a lead hot? If they're ready now, if you have a high degree of know, like, and trust with them, right? They know who you are. They think they know who you are. They've been referred to you by a friend or someone they trust. They like you, or they have an affinity for you, and they have some trust, right? They believe that you can do a good job. They believe that you know what you're talking about. They believe that you understand the market, you understand values, that you can help them achieve their goals. That's trust, and that you have their best interest in mind. They don't have another agent, or they're not considering another agent, or they're not interviewing other agents. They don't have any contract reservations, right? They're not concerned about the length of contract or buyer-broker relationship agreement or listing agreement. And they have no commission reservations. They're willing to pay you what you're worth, what you ask. They aren't trying to get a deal. They aren't trying to beat you up. They aren't trying to have a win-lose situation. That would make a lead hot. So what makes a lead easy or hard to convert, close, or otherwise turn into a piece of business? So you guys have seen the funnel, right? It usually looks like this from top to bottom, the funnel, top of the funnel, middle funnel, bottom of the funnel, right? And it's shaped like a funnel because you have the most number of people at the top who are just getting into the market or thinking about the market. The people in the middle, it's a little bit smaller. They're the ones who are doing research or just getting started on a process. The ones down at the bottom, the fewest number of people, are the ones who are in process, actively looking for homes, actively listing their home, or attempting to sell their home. And you lose people as they go down that funnel. They kind of fall out, right? So you have fewer and fewer and fewer as it goes down. Well, I've taken that funnel and turned it on its side. So here you can see now, these are the now people that are in process. Then we have soon, these are the people that are studying or looking at things, making a plan, talking to people. Then you have later, this is the top of the funnel, right? It's where most of the people are, the ones who are just kind of thinking about it, but not really taking action yet. So this is where all of your leads fall, somewhere in this, or all the leads that are currently in the market, not just your leads. Now, if we had to give a percentage to the amount of people in each of these stages, now is probably going to be about 3% of the whole market. Soon is going to be about 15% of the whole market, and later is going to be about 30% of the whole market. The remaining percentage is not even in the market at all. They aren't thinking about buying or selling, not thinking about agents. It's just not something they're doing. So we have now, soon, or later. And you remember these 5 that make them a hot lead. Ready now, no like, trust, no other agent, no contract reservations, no commission reservations. Now, easy would be they have all 5 of those criteria. But look, if you look at now, the ones that are easy that have all 5 of those criteria are a small percentage. A third or less of the people that are actually in the now category that are going to be doing something now. And then the people that are medium difficulty to convert or get into an appointment, those are the ones that are missing 1 or 2 of those magic 5 factors. That makes up easily another third or more of the people that are in that now category. The remainder of the people in that now category are going to be in the hard category. These are the people that are missing 3 or more. These are the people who don't know, like, or trust you. These are the people who don't want to sign your papers. These are people who don't want to meet with you. These are the people who want to beat you up on commission, or they want to negotiate your commission. The people who want to negotiate the length of contract. The people who want to interview other agents, want you to compete, or they're even opposed to using a real estate agent. So as you can see, if you can only close the easy ones, you have cut down your opportunities drastically. And not only that, but the rest of the funnel is just the same, with soon having its own bands of easy, medium, and hard people. And in fact, as you go up this funnel, the longer it's going to be before somebody transacts, the fewer easy ones there are, the fewer laydowns there are. There's just more of the medium difficulty, more of the hard difficulty. And If all you have is the easy skills, if you can only convert the people that are right in your strike zone, you have drastically cut down your opportunities to create clients, book appointments, and sell houses. By expanding your skill set, by becoming a more professional salesperson, by increasing your abilities to engage in, conduct, and win sales conversations, you expand your piece of the market. So you go from just the easy ones into the medium ones, and if you really stick with it, even into the hard categories. And that gives you the most access you can get to the full funnel of potential leads. This is how you beat your competitors, because most of your competitors don't have very good sales skills either. So, does that make sense, everybody? Chat in yes for me if this makes sense. This is what I call the hot lead fallacy. All of you guys think there's some massive pool of hot leads out there and you just haven't tapped into it. That's not the case. The only way to get a whole lot more really hot leads is either one, you are already the 800-pound gorilla real estate company or team in your market, or two, you spend shit tons of money to buy anyone that's out there. And here's what I'll tell you. 800-pound gorillas already spend shit tons of money, and even spending the money, if you can't convert for every easy lead you're going to get 10 medium and hard leads that come along with it. If you can't convert the rest of that stuff, you are just wasting your money. Okay, good. Now, let's talk about unscripted. So what we teach is the unscripted method. Why I needed to develop an unscripted method. I wanted to make sales easier. I don't like hard sales. I wanted to make it easier too, just like you do. I wanted to win more. I'm sure you want to win more. I wanted to get my salespeople to perform better. When I was running sales teams and building sales teams, I needed to be able to empower my salespeople to convert faster, to get skilled faster, to win faster. I wanted to get difficult staff members to fight me less and fall in line. So at one point when I was a sales manager, I was a mid-level manager. I couldn't fire the people that I was managing or that I was working with. I couldn't do anything. And I had a couple that were a real pain in my ass. I had to figure out how to communicate better. I had to figure out how to better understand them so I could get them to stop messing with me as much, because I couldn't actually fire them. So part of the methodologies that we use in Unscripted to help you understand how to communicate better with people comes from being a mid-level sales manager who basically can't do much, but cause somebody to change their behavior without having any kind of thing to hold over their head. I needed to ramp paid ISAs fast to get them profitably converting our real estate leads to appointments and to closings. If you've ever hired an ISA, they're expensive. I mean, if you've done it right, they're expensive. It takes a long time for them to get to the point where they can convert enough business to make themselves profitable. When you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, you have to get these people to be able to convert quickly. That's why I had to develop this unscripted methodology, to be able to teach a salesperson how to think and talk like a 20-year veteran salesperson. Why scripts fail. Who here likes scripts? Do any of you like reading scripts? I doubt it. Here's why scripts fail. Scripts are too confining. Scripts are one-dimensional and they fail when the conversation goes off script. Scripts are hard to memorize. Scripts are written by one person and don't come naturally to most other people. Organic conversation moves too fast for pre-written scripts. And here are the perspectives that form this method. We are all consumers, right? Every one of us, you and I. Let me ask you a question. When you're not ready to buy something, or you don't have burning questions that you need answered and can't figure out how else to get them answered, if those two things are not the case, if you're not ready to buy and don't have burning questions, how often do you want to talk to a salesperson? Chat it in. How often do you want to talk to a salesperson? How often? Chat it in. You guys are sleeping on me, or this is delayed. As little as possible, not often. Yeah. So We take into consideration how we consumers view salespeople and bake it into our approach, our method. We look at how consumers actually want to be interacted with. We look at what we consumers hate about salespeople, how they usually talk and what they try to do, so that we don't run into that same no salesperson filter. We look at how us consumers best communicate, how we bond, how we interpret feelings, and how we build relationships. This is the difference in the unscripted method. And so we think, how can I best get into a conversation, stay in a conversation, correct the misconceptions about what I'm trying to do or what my intentions are, overcome objections to me, the process, taking a next step. How can I build a relationship with this person, move them to the next step, and protect my interest in this client? This is what we're doing with the unscripted method. And we apply those principles to all of these categories, right? So text and email messaging, getting them to respond, getting in the conversations, getting them to tell you their story, overcoming any objections that they have, how to articulate a value proposition, which is why you should buy with me or why you should sell with me, closing for appointments, contracts, commission negotiations, price reductions, and deal negotiation and navigation. So here's what Unscripted can do for you. Help you master your sales skills, gain confidence, win faster and easier, ease sales conversations, lower a prospect's resistance, book more appointments, sell more houses, enjoy the lead conversion process. This one is super important. Believe it or not, you can actually enjoy having conversations with consumers for the most part, 80 to 90% of them. Of course, there's going to be some bad apples in there. But if you have enough of them and you have a really good approach that feels comfortable and you feel confident doing it, it's night and day for your results. It absolutely is. It makes the whole lead generation, follow-up, sort of lead cultivation and conversation part, it makes it a breeze. So where are you now? I want you to, you don't have to chat this out. I want you to think about this. How many contacts do you make a day on average? Just think about it. How many new appointments do you go on per week on average? How many new contacts do you add to your database monthly? How good are you at getting leads to answer your texts and emails? Getting leads to stay on the phone, getting leads to getting them past the waiting and not yet objections, getting leads to agree to meet with you, and actually getting them to show up for the appointment that you book or the meeting that you book. So here's how to build a killer spring pipeline. Find your sales blind spots. You absolutely have them. Every one of you do. Improve the sales skills you know you need to improve. Improve your messaging and outreach. Gather all your contacts, past clients, sphere, and leads. Go back to them with a better approach than what you have right now. Book more appointments than you ever have. This is your recipe. All right. Do you want to know more about our unscripted training? Chat in yes for me if you want to know more about it. Okay, well, here it is. So this is the 3-day intensive that I told you about when I first got started. It's 6 hours across January 26, 27, and 28. That's 2 hours per day. And here's what we're going to be covering. The introductions, how to best get into a conversation, objection handling, the best approach for handling objections, how to articulate why somebody should buy or sell with you, how to close for appointments confidently and logically, your written messaging, better messaging that will get people to answer your texts and emails, and then the systems, processes, approach, and mindset to help you triple your lead conversion. All right, so it's January 26, 27, 28, 2 hours per day live on Zoom. It's $197 for general admission to get access to the 3 days, 6 hours of training. You can also buy the recordings and slides. In case you're not sure whether you can make it all 3 days or all 6 hours, it's only $97 for the recordings. And you can go here to smartsalescoaching.com masterclass to sign up for the masterclass coming up on January 26th. Now, a couple of caveats to this. Actually, do we have any questions? Chat in if you have any questions about this. While you're chatting in the questions, I just want to tell you this much. We're capped at 100 tickets. I think we already have 40 or 50 of those tickets sold, and I have 3 more webinars to do. This is an interactive training, not a webinar. So you won't be on a webinar like this. You'll be on a meeting with me where we are interacting and I'm practicing and I'm teaching and doing those kind of things. So it's more of a meeting training than a webinar like this where you guys don't see each other. And prices will go up for the following master classes after this. Okay, any questions? Chat it in. What time? Ooh, great question. You know what? If you go to the landing page, let's go to the landing page. It says on the landing page. Here it is. This is the landing page. If you scan that QR code or you go to that URL, it is 12 to 2 Eastern each day. Jeff Eggleston. And it's also down here where you actually pay for it. Yeah, so it's 12 to 2 Eastern, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific. These are your times right here. Each day, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And basically you just click here. It'll take you to this checkout page. You can say whether or not you want to upgrade and get the recordings and slides by clicking this button. And then you just enter your payment info, check card, and then enter your card. And you'll be able to reserve your seat. All right, any other questions? All right, well, give me one thing you guys got out of today's training. What's a takeaway? Chat in a takeaway for me. I know you're feverishly typing. What's a takeaway? I think there might be a little delay from when I ask you guys to chat in to when I actually see it on my screen. All right, well, I don't see anything popping up. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you in the masterclass.